Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. It's not going to be very long, but Vince Russo's live stream last night was perfect. It was so entertaining, and I wanted to give the man props because I really enjoyed it. So basically, they were doing medium scrum clips of Tony Khan with all his hugging of his wrestlers. What do you guys think about that? Is that a little far fetched? I mean, what owner do you see going around hugging everybody? I mean, I'm just looking at this guy and I'm just like, even with the women, he's doing it. And I'm just like, Tony, you got to be careful with that, bro. You can't be going around doing that, especially with the women, because that could bite you in the ass, bro. That really can. I would not suggest that. Sexual harassment in the workplace is a thing. So I wouldn't put it past people to feel uncomfortable with that. You can't go around hugging everybody, especially if they look like they don't want it. I mean, if they embrace you first, okay, no problem. But most of them did not embrace you first. I mean, Samoa Joe, that was the funniest thing. Samoa Joe, Tony Khan goes to give him a hug, and he walks away, and then Tony Khan looks confused. Like, why didn't he give me a hug? He's just standing there, looking around. Then he sits down and goes, "Thanks, Joe. Have a good night, Joe." He didn't give him any eye contact whatsoever. He's like, "I'm getting out of here before this man hugs me." It's like Samoa Joe is not a hugger. He's a machine. The man with the mean streak. And you're going to try to hug him? What is wrong with you, Tony? Oh my lord, that had me rolling. That I'd lost it at that point. Even in his chat, we were all having a good time. I don't. I hope he read some of those, and I'm sure he does. Sometimes when they get really into it, they don't read all the comments, but I'm sure that he was like, "Oh my God, these guys are loving it." And so we're just like Tony the Hugger. He hides this in his hair. His hair probably smells. It's just, it's like, and he puts his hair like deep into you. It's like, imagine how sweaty that man is. And, oh, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't want to know. But it's like, dude, if you tried to hug me on live TV in front of the world, I'm just going to be like, no, bro. I'll shake your hand, but no. No hugs, please. Because that puts a weird impression on the athlete too. If they're a big heel on your show, Tony, and then you're going to give them a hug and they hug you back, the casual fans are gonna be like, "The fuck? Like, are they heel or not? Because why are they hugging the owner?" All those questions are gonna be floating in people's minds, and it's like Tony just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Like what this does to other people. It's like, and he's really becoming the laughing stock of the IWC and probably on major sports, their networks and everything. People behind closed doors, even the athletes themselves. Vince Russo brought up a very good point. When they leave and go backstage, they're probably laughing their ass off at this guy. They wouldn't tell you because he writes their paychecks and provides a home for them, but behind closed doors, inside their head, except for the vocal ones, probably won't be afraid to say it, but they're gonna be like, "This guy's a joke. There's something wrong with him." Do you ever see Triple H? Like, I mean, sometimes, yeah, in NXT he gives people hugs, but on a everyday occasion, no. Excuse me, and I know Stephanie don't do it. I mean, you never see her hug nobody. She's a McMahon. She knows. I mean, Triple H loves his talent down in NXT, so sometimes he embraces them when he's really proud of them. That's when you do it. Not just because you want to hug them. Not just because you want to kiss their butt or their ass. Literally, Tony probably would. But it's just like, oh my goodness, this guy is something else. This guy is something else. I I didn't realize, like, I'm glad Russo did this because they stopped it a lot to where you can see Tony's facial expressions, and the guy is like kind of creepy. Like seriously, the way he looks at his wrestlers, and he's like, and it gets up. Is he on something? Is Tony Khan taking stuff? From the word going around, I can kind of believe it that he does. Because I mean, the guy's laughing for no reason at the weirdest times, and then he gets all edgy and like starts saying "fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that." I'm just like, what? Where did that come from? I'm like, is this the image you want for yourself? That's kind of weird. Like, I don't get this guy. He's acting like dropping the F-bombs are cool, and I'm just like, not all the time, Tony. You don't have to say it like that. And then the one media scrum they showed, he was totally cutting CM Punk off, and Punk just sitting there like, I got to take it. He's paying me millions of dollars. But this time, Punk didn't hold back, and he interrupted him this time. But it's just like, what kind of relationship is this? Oh, my Lord. And no wonder why the weather was bad yesterday, because, God forbid, fucking JD had to fucking agree with me. And I'm like, that CM Punk needs to go. I'm just like, no, there goes the streak. Fuck, he actually agrees with me. I'm like, no, JD, why? But every once in a while, that's going to happen where you have no choice but to agree with the person that you may not like very much. Because eventually they're going to get something right, and you're just like, oh, okay, I'll give you that one. It's like, all right, enjoy your time in the sun. It's not going to happen very often. But man, I'm still laughing my ass off. That was one of the best live streams, other than 83 weeks, that I have ever watched, where I was so entertained I was actually engaging in the live chat. That's how invested I was in that. And that does not happen very often. That really doesn't. Like Bischoff I do every week because I love Bischoff, but any other podcaster, I'm not engaging the whole entire time. I mean, we were all having a field day with this guy. I mean, that was the most I felt like that whole hour I was watching didn't even feel like an hour. I mean, they were just having a good time, and it rubbed off on you. Everybody in the chat was live, and they were having a blast. I'm just like, man, does he do this every time? Like, I'm going to have to watch another one. But, wow. Did they do a great job with this? I was just like, man, why didn't I think of this? But I'm not going to take someone's idea. I don't do that. But I'm just like, that was brilliant. So kudos. If I could clap, here's my air clap to Vince Russo. Great job. I really enjoyed it. But I had to say something about it because that was so good. Next time you see these media scrums, everybody, like, really pay attention to Tony. Don't pay attention to the wrestlers. Pay attention to Tony's facial expressions, and you'll get the kind of character he is. I mean, oh my God. Like, there's so many things I missed when I was watching the media scrum because I was focused on what the wrestler was saying. But if you actually go back and pay attention to what Tony is doing, it's a whole new ball game. It's totally something different. Like, it's so easy to miss it because he does it so nonchalant, and he picks the right times and places to do it. It's like, it's all, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all, like a better word for planned. Like, I have it in my head, but I can't think of it. But you know what I mean? It's like he knows when to do it, because then he's like, oh, people aren't going to catch up on it if I do this or if I do that at this time when the wrestler is getting really into it. That's when Tony likes to shine. And the way he looks, and he's just like, and does those weird laughs at the weirdest fucking times. I'm just like, what is this, a little kid? Like, Tony, oh my God, dude. Like, what? I don't get it. It's just, look at, I'm rambling on 10 minutes over this. That's how entertaining it was. It was great. One of the best live streams. I don't put over Vince Russo enough. The guy is hilarious. And the fact that he told Tony, you haven't grown your TV audience one iota, it's a fact. It's a fact, everybody. Their debut was a 1.3. They have not gone past 1.3 in over 3 years. With the talent and the roster that they have, don't you think there's a problem there if they could even bring it up to a 1.5? TNA did that a few times during the Hogan and Bischoff era. The ones everybody supposedly hated. It wasn't that bad. There is some good stuff. I mean, Sting really shined the most through that with the Joker Sting. And I would not trade those memories for anything. I mean, Sting was awesome during the Hogan and Bischoff era. You can't say that he wasn't. You can't say that wasn't entertaining. Because it was. It was one of the best characters he ever did. And I thank Hogan and Bischoff for allowing him to do that, because that gave us some memories that we'll never forget. But how many of those with AEW can you get? That's the thing I've been trying to say. If you just put on great matches, yeah, that'll get you by. But it won't provide those memories that you'll talk about 5 or 10 years from now. That's what some of these AEW fans are not understanding. Like, oh, it's a great show, I'm loyal, so I'm going to like whatever they throw at me. That's fine, but it's not going to get them out of that category of a television company. It's not. All he's doing is putting on great matches. Do you see any in-depth characters that's going to be, that's like an Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock? I mean, you don't. Tony has failed to bring anybody to that level. He really has. And I'm sorry, there's been a couple good matches I remember, but as far as that's as far as it goes. There is nothing else that you'll be like wanting to tell people about. Like, oh, this is a good match, I'll forget about it by next week. That's the thing with just putting on great matches does. It has a very short shelf life. An attention span. It's not going to last. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but it's the truth. It is not going to last. Good matches only last for so long. They may keep your television company happy. They may say, oh, well, they're still holding around 1 million, so we're happy. But that's the problem with today's society, that the standards are lowered so low that it doesn't take much to make anybody happy these days. And that's a sad thing, because we should all be striving for better. We should all be striving to improve. And I guess apparently Tony doesn't want to improve. He just wants to look good by selling out his shows. That's great. But Tony, I know better. There's some of us that know better. You're not profiting, bro. As much as you're paying CM Punk and you're saying you sold 1 million in ticket sales, okay, great. But what did you make after expenses? You have not once gave us any of that information. Because you know why? Because you're hiding it. You don't want people to know that you're just breaking even. You're not making any extra money. You might be getting it through Turner and Discovery, but you're not getting it through pay-per-views. No one's going to want to keep paying $50 for a pay-per-view, Tony, even if you do it a couple of times a year. You know, that concept is forgotten. You need to update to the times and get a streaming service where people only pay $5 to $10 a month, and you might actually see a profit. What is wrong with trying it? Give it a trial run. That's what you should be doing as an owner, giving trial runs. You know, take a pay-per-view off from going to the $50. Get yourself a streaming service and try it. If it does well, do it again. If it keeps doing well, do it again. And if it doesn't, just go back to what you're doing. It doesn't hurt to try. You have all this money, why not give it a shot? I mean, you could go on Netflix and say, hey, I want to try one pay-per-view. Can we do it? There's plenty of services out there, plenty of tools to where you can try to grow a profit. And I'm sorry, but I have a hard time believing that you have. Many of us do. Because it makes me feel like that you've made zero. You've made zero with these pay-per-views, Tony. You may have sold a lot of tickets, great, but is that covering your losses? Is that covering your expenses? I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's enough of what I'm going to say on all that. Last thing before we go here, guys, because I got an appointment to go to soon. Young Bucks have put some feelers out to go to WWE. Do you care? I don't care. Honestly, they're just as bad as Punk with the whining. Yeah, they're good wrestlers, but I don't want to see them in WWE. Do you? I mean, Triple H may do something with them, but I don't know. I don't really think it's a good idea. I think they should just stay in AEW. That's my prediction, and that's my thought. And apparently, Bray Wyatt is signed with WWE. That's supposedly what's going around. Still don't know. Still don't know when he's going to return. I'm thinking they hold off to WrestleMania. It's like Triple H said in the interview, Bray Wyatt has such a creative mind, and they're probably trying to come up with something they can both agree on. I'm sure the money's not the issue. I'm sure it's probably what Bray wants to do with his character. And the way his mind constantly changes and constantly is moving, that's what they mean by he's difficult to work with, because not everybody can keep up with a mind like that. Triple H didn't mean that he can't work with them. He meant it's difficult to keep up with the mind that he has because he's always changing it. But that just means Bray wants it to be better. And Triple H loves that, so he said he's willing to give him a shot. So expect to see Bray Wyatt very, very soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just wanted to give it a live. I'm starting to do live streams now because I'm trying to see if you guys like these better. Please let me know your thoughts down below. And it's quicker to upload. When you do a live stream, it's quicker to upload, and I like that better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thumbs up, please. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're trying to set the goal for 2,000 by the end of the year. We're over 1,900. Thank you so much. And hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful morning. Make sure you stretch. Make sure you stay hydrated. And I'll see you back for Monday Night Raw. Take care, everybody. I love you, and have a great one.